Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Each one of you is welcome to wherever you are. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, it is asked, one should neither suppress nor indulge in anger, instead remain passively meditative. Is it not an effort? I will explain something first. Very often, this is the situation with you all also. Once you are aspiring on a spiritual path, you have to understand this intricacy. People ask, how are you? And you respond. You respond based on something, whatever be the criteria. And when the questionnaire listens to your answer, he, without asking, tells things about him. If you say, I am not feeling good these days, he will also speak along the same lines. Do you know who is this I? How are you? Who is you? Is your name you? Let us take first the name. Let's say somebody asks me, how are you? Who is this you? Referring to me. It has a name. Name is for identification. It is a combination of three words, Tao, Sho, Buddha. If you remove the syllable or prefix Tao, then something is missing. So you remove Tao first, then Sho Buddha. It does not carry any meaning. Then you remove Sho, then comes Buddha. Buddha is not a name. Buddha is a state that happens to someone. If you remove Buddha also, what remains there? You remove Tao, you remove Sho, you remove Buddha. What remains in the end is nothing else but emptiness. Before I go into the parts of the body, I'll take an example of a car. What is car? Is steering wheel car? Is the wheels car? Is the axle car? Is the lights car? Is the body car? Is the seats car? Is the braking system car? Car is this aggregate, sum total of all these parts when they are working in harmony. Otherwise, it will be called car, but it will not be movable. It will not be alive. If the battery stops functioning, car stops functioning. If the braking system fails, car fails. If a steering wheel or the radiator system fails, car fails. So all these things have to work in harmony with one another. Only then car is alive. You are body, you are mind, you are intellect, you are a storehouse of the memory. If you lose your memory, you are psychologically ill. if any part of the body is less functional or there is a problem, there is a physical deformity, ailment. So, what is actually you? You start, this is the meditation. This is what, if you understand this, your life will become easy. Start removing your body. What remains mind is, it is said, man is mind. As is the mind, so is man. But man is memory, intellect. Are you simply an intellect? If I take out your intellect and call you by your name, intellect is functional only when it is part of the body. Intellect is functional only when it is part of the mind. Mind is functional only when it is part of the body. And intellect works, memory works only when it is part of the mind. So all are interrelated. So how you can call aggregate of all these things as you? The spiritual dimension says, start removing all those things whose aggregate defines you. It is the aggregate of all these parts that I named define the word car. Your body, your mind, your intellect, your ego sense, your identity. There is a psychological problem comes in when you lose your identity. You do not know who you are. And in fact, the spiritual person is, in the eyes of the world, he has lost his so-called worldly identity. He is identified as emptiness, just a presence. A presence has no name. There is a presence in a room because of the boundaries, because of its decor, because of the purpose. It is given a name. This is a studio. There is another room in this same house which has the similar table, cupboards, bed, lights, but it is not called studio. A studio is something designed for a specific purpose, but if you remove all the things from the studio and from the other room, will there be difference? There will be emptiness. This is what really you are. So, a wise man, one who is awakened, he will hesitate in answering the question. Yes, if it is, I have to speak to the so-called worldly people who will not understand. If you are standing in front of the dog, and let's say the dog happens to be speaking and he says, "How are you?" Would your answer the dog will be able to understand? No, he cannot understand your answer. So in that case, hesitatingly, with that understanding deep within, you respond. But someone who is aspiring to be on the spiritual path, if he asks you that question, you should respond your way so that one day the person also understands this. Now, coming back to this question, it is said one should neither suppress nor indulge in anger Instead, one should remain passively meditative. Will it not be an effort? No. It is an effort. It is an effort, but not a sort of suppression. Every effort cannot be called a suppression. Every effort cannot be called a suppression. There are three types of efforts. One is the effort which is expression, that you know. When you express your anger, it is an effort. You are making an effort unconsciously to express your anger. The second type of effort is when you suppress it. When you express what you are doing, you are forcing your energy outward towards the person. You are expressing your energy is moving outward to the person, to the object. From the subject, the energy is moving towards the object. You are throwing out your energy. The other is the target. Energy moves to the other. This is an effort. When you suppress, you return the energy back to the original source, to your heart. You are forcing it back. The energy which wants to go out. It is like dog wants to go out, but you are holding the dog by its lead and not allowing it to move forward, whereas it is putting all its effort to free itself from your clutches and move wherever it wants to go. Somebody comes in, you are holding the dog by the lead. Dog is using all its energy, force to free itself so that it can go towards the target. This is, you are moving, this is the effort when you are doing the suppression. You are using like a lead, allowing the energy not to move to the object, instead returns back to the source. You return the energy back to the original source, to your heart. You force it back. It is an effort. But the direction is different. Instead of going outward, it is going towards you. In expression, it moves away from you. In suppression, again it moves near you, towards you. The third is alertness, passive alertness, passive. It is also an effort, but the dimension is different. The energy moves outward. In the beginning, it is an effort. When I say passively alert, in the beginning, even passivity is bound to be an effort. Only by and by, you become more and more acquainted with it, then it will not remain an effort. Anger is coming in before it comes in. It is like auto security system is installed. Auto security system. If there is a danger of any accident, automatically all signals lights light up. Sometimes in your system it happens, you are using an electrical appliance. There is a device put into it. When there is a malfunctioning, immediately all lights come on. That kind of a device is put in almost all the mechanical objects that you use, whether it is car, whether it is AC, so that when you see all the three lights flashing, you are traveling along the highway or byway where there is a traffic light. Green traffic light means to go, red means to stop, and yellow means proceed with caution. At times you would have observed the three lights are flashing simultaneously. This is the safety device that the system is malfunctioning and all the three lights are flashing. So in the beginning, when you are trying to be passively alert, it will become an effort. Then by and by, when you get more acquainted with it, it will not be an effort. In the beginning, if you do not know, you want to wonder why all these lights are flashing. Then as you accustom driving, if you have learned driving for the first time, you are driving and you see these lights, you get confused, you want to know what to do. But sometimes that sense comes to you. In the same way, when the energy is moving out, it is an expression. When it is moving within, it is a suppression. Both are effort. The third is also effort when you are trying to be passively alert, then you are not familiar with it in the beginning. It is an effort. Will it not be an effort? And when it is not an effort anymore for you, before the anger comes in, automatically the safety device comes into practice. You remember at the moment, just at the spur of the moment, when anger is to express itself or suppress itself, you become aware. It becomes more passive. And the more passive it becomes more magnetic. It pulls the energy upward. It is not going within, it is not going outward. In expression, it goes outward. In suppression, it goes within. These are both our horizontal movements. But the moment it becomes more magnetic, it pulls the energy upward. The direction changes. Instead of horizontal, it becomes vertical. But in the beginning, everything is going to be an effort. So do not become a victim of the words. We are victim of the words. You remember, in music there are 7 notes. Only 7 notes. But when you see the musical compositions, there are infinite number of musical compositions because of the permutation and combination of the 7 notes. In English language, there are 26 letters. By combining through permutation and combination different words, ACID, GOD, 3 letters are put together to form a word, GOD. You are using the same 3 letters, DOG. Another word comes in. The letters are same, their arrangement is different. GOD is one entity. DOG, same 3 letters, it forms another entity. Both are opposite to one another. One is the creator, the other is creation. So with the permutation and combinations, There are infinite number of musical notes, infinite number of words comes in. When you take the words God, you use the one word. Then you use is. Is, it becomes a verb. When you use si, it needs something to add to it. Sit, it forms another word. You added another dimension to it. So in the same way, when you are making an effort, it is one syllable, you add another dimension to it, like you are doing sitting. You can sit in you can sit the way you sit in the office. You can sit the way you sit in meditation. Another dimension is added. Now you're sitting. You are listening to relaxing music. You are sitting, you can listen to watch a pornographic movie. You can listen to a meditative video or sound or music. Different, infinite number of permutation and combinations are there. You are sitting, focusing on your breathing, but you can keep your gaze on to the light, flame of the light. Or if you have a mirror in front of you, you are looking at your eyes into the mirror, and at the same time you are aware of breathing. So in the beginning you have to do one thing at a time. You cannot do two things simultaneously. You cannot do two things simultaneously. If you are a learner, beginner, and you are working in the kitchen, you can focus only on one thing. But a master chef works on several dishes simultaneously. He has an order to supply within a certain period of time onto the dining table, and then there is not only one combination of different items for this particular customer, he has many. For this particular person, he has to make different dishes. Let's put it as here a combination of Indian dishes. He has to make a dal makhani. He has to make a particular kind of paneer, a chicken, a naan, rice, biryani. So stove has 5 heads. He can cook all these things simultaneously without any confusion or problem. On one stove, he is cooking dal. Next one is cooking paneer. Third one is cooking meat. Fourth one, he is cooking something else. And at the same time, he is rushing towards to cut the vegetables to add to this. Put this, on one stove, the gravy is being prepared. He has already prepared the chicken or paneer to go into tandoor to be baked, and when it is baked, then it has to be added to the gravy. So he is doing all these things together because he has a time limit. In life too, you have a time limit. You do not know if next moment the breath comes in or not. You have to be so attentive and aware that you can perform so many different things simultaneously at one time. You do not have a next moment available to you, but you consider your life to be alive, to be stale. If you are really aware, the breath that comes in is life, the breath that goes out is death. It is constantly happening every moment, that is, you are refreshed. If your breathing is not moving in that rhythmic pattern, coming in and going out, you are already dead. You are lifeless. So in the beginning, everything is going to be an effort. So do not become a victim of the words. As I said, the smallest unit of a word is a letter. And then in that, there are two types, consonants and vowels. A vowel can be used by itself, but in order to give a meaning to a word, there has to be a combination of consonants and vowels. Sometimes you can use the consonants alone. Sometimes, I said, most of the time, a word that can carry a meaning, it must be a combination of vowels and consonant. D-O-G, S-I-T, S-T-A-N-D. A is their vowel. D-O-G, O is the vowel. G-O-D, O is the vowel. And then, so do not become a victim of the words. It creates problems. Mystics have always been talking about effortlessness. They say do not make any effort, but in the beginning, even this is going to be an effort. When you are making no effort, that is an effort. So when I said that you do not want to express anger, you do not want to suppress, because expression, it moves towards the other, and then the battle of the words begin. That is not the solution. You can be sadist. In that case, you are a masochist. When your energy is moving towards you, you are a sadist. So these are the different possibilities that you know. But the third possibility is of passivity, passive alertness. In the beginning, it will be an effort. But as you gain, in the beginning, when you start your vehicle, it is an effort. Then slowly and slowly, then the accelerator, you are accelerating. When it gains a certain momentum, the vehicle starts moving, everything becomes effortless. Automatically, the steering, the wheel, everything becomes automatically. And that happens that way. So it is to be understood, even effortlessness is effort. But as you gain momentum, as you continue along the journey, you gain excellence into it, you realize that it has become effortless, passive, meditative. In that state, its movement becomes vertical. In the beginning, everything is going to be an effort. Do not be a victim of the words. It creates problems. Mystics have always been talking of effortlessness. They don't say make any effort. But in the beginning, even effortlessness will be an effort. When we say be effortless, we only mean that do not force any effort. That is where the word spontaneity comes in. You are spontaneous. Spontaneity and being natural is not an effort. When we say be effortless, we only mean do not force any effort. Allow it to come to you through the awareness. A spontaneous. Someone asks you something, a question, you say that I have to look into the answer. I will respond, I will tell you tomorrow. Because right now so this is an effort. A question is asked, you immediately start responding to it. It is spontaneous. And this spontaneity is the essence of effortlessness. You are speaking, this is an effort, but you are speaking effortlessly, naturally, spontaneously. Let your life be spontaneous, natural. You do not look into your Bible, you do not look into your scriptures, how to deal with your husband and so. You do not know which psalm or which verse, which surah will it be explained. When it becomes natural, look at the children, they are spontaneous and natural in their dealings. You ask a question, immediately the child says something. I recall it was many years ago. I had been to one of my uncle's place, who was a professor in the university, to get some coaching for some science subjects. He had a son who was very mischievous. Everybody was fed up of his mischief. He was 5 or 6 years of age. So I asked him, I said, why do you do so much mischief? Do you enjoy doing it? And everybody is fed up of you. He said, bro, if children will not do mischief, who else do you expect to do the mischief? Now, it was an eye opener. Children's mischief is natural and spontaneous, whereas the mischief of a grown up person is of a different nature. It is not spontaneous. It is for some reasons. In political field, we know there are mischief mongers, mischief makers. In the offices, there are people who are making mischiefs, but that is of a different nature. I am talking about let your effort be spontaneous and natural, then it is no more an effort. In a way, it is an effort, but it is spontaneous. It is spontaneous. I heard a little child whose one of the aunts was expecting. So his mother carried the pregnant woman to the doctor. So he said he wanted to find out, he was a 5-year-old child. He wanted to find out, where are you going? He said, I am carrying the auntie to the doctor because she is having babies and soon you will have a brother or sister. So he goes there. The mother carries the aunt to the doctor's place, gynecologist, and when he comes back, he is anxious to know what the doctor said. So the mother told, the doctor said, you are going to have a twin brothers. Twin too? So spontaneously the child asked, does it mean our uncle have a double barrel? Because in order, he had somewhere seen that a bullet, two bullets to come out, it has a double barrel bullet, a gun. So spontaneously he said that, does it mean our uncle has a double barrel? So the child was spontaneous, whereas the elderly mother and the aunt, they were grown up. They looked at it from their angle, double barrel. Their meaning was different, which was not spontaneous, it was cultured. The boy's response was spontaneous. Another incident, he was to get an injection. The doctor said, do not worry about it, just like an ant biting you. Nothing will happen, just a very small, like ant bites you. Does ant ever bite you? He said, yes, ants bite me. So how do you feel? Just like that, all right. After the injection was given, the doctor asked, did it feel just like ant biting you? He said, no, I was feeling like Dracula sucking my blood. This is a spontaneous answer. And that spontaneity we lose in life as we grow. A mystic is spontaneous. When Alexander asked Diogenes, "Ask me anything, I will give you." Diogenes said, "Move away, you are blocking the sunlight." Alexander was expecting that he will ask for this material wealth or something, but Diogenes said, "Move aside, you are blocking the sunlight." These are the this is the Diogenes asking Alexander to move aside is the spontaneity of an awakened one. But the awakened one, but the child is not even aware. He has read somewhere, he has seen somewhere, but both are spontaneity, natural behavior. When your behavior, spontaneity becomes that of an awakened one, natural, this is what Jesus said when he was asked, "Who will enter the kingdom of your Father?" He said, he did not say one who is child, he said one who is childlike. An adult can be childlike, and that childlike spontaneity is the spontaneity of the awakened one. I have had the experience in Calcutta. There are some singers who are known by a particular name. They are natural and spontaneous. They carry a single stringed instrument with them. So this was a man who had no teeth in his mouth, and he was playing his single stringed instrument and singing. So we asked him to sing a song. He said he cannot sing a song. Why? And you are singing song? Yes, I want something sweet to eat now. If you can get me the sweets to eat, then I can sing for you. This is a spontaneity. There was innocence in his eyes. Innocence in his eyes. And then when he has eaten the sweets that was brought for him, then he sang this song. There was no teeth in his mouth. There was no musical repertoire, no concert, no group of musicians. Simply he was singing the song, and the song that he was singing, it was the song of Krishna. The mother is blaming the child, Krishna, saying that you have stolen the butter. You have stolen the butter. It is all pasted on your face, and you are saying you have not done it. So what does the child say? "I swear upon you, Mom, I did not do it." Mother knows it. The child is trying to convince the mother, Mother, I did not do it. I swear upon you. I am telling the truth. But the butter is all over his lips. So a particular note, a syllable he added to it. Maya Muri, my dear mother. Kasam Tori, by I swear upon you. That particular syllable that he added to that song, that became the essence of it. Only an awakened one could know the innocence, feel that innocence. He was an embodiment of that innocence. Maya Mori, Kasam Tori. This is not in the original song. The original composition does not have the syllable, I swear upon you. Kasam Tori. Kasam means swear. Tori means your. I swear upon you. Maya Mori, Kasam Tori. मैं नहीं माखन खायो. I have not eaten the butter. Maya Mori, Kasam Tori, मैं नहीं माखन खायो. The way he inducted that into that song, that had become a beauty, and he didn't have teeth in his mouth. As I am speaking to you, that whole scene comes in front of my eyes. It was more than 50 years ago. I happened to be in that company. These are the particular group of people. They are in Bengal. I do not recall the name that they are called, but they are the only objective, the way of prayer is that which is effort in the beginning, everything is going, but in the beginning, everything is an effort. Do not be a victim of the words, it creates problems. Mystics have been talking about effortlessness. They say don't make any effort, but in the beginning, even this is going to be an effort. When we say be effortless, we only mean do not force any effort, and then it becomes a spontaneous. Allow it to come through your awareness. If you force it, you will become tense. If you become tense, then anger cannot move upward. The direction of the energy will not change. Tension is horizontal. Only a non-tense mind can be ever hovering like a cloud, and the journey becomes vertical. Look at the clouds, they are floating effortlessly. The birds, when they start flapping their wings, this is an effort. And after they start flapping their wings, they lay their wings stretched apart, and they continue to float and soar to the infinite heights. Just bring your witnessing like a floating cloud or a floating bird. In the beginning, it is going to be an effort, but remember, only that is going to be effortless in the end. You will be forcing and you will allowing it to be more and more, then it will become difficult. So because the language becomes the problem, so you have to avoid this. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.